Welcome to the incredible journey of language development in the first 5 years of life, a period teeming with wonder, challenges, and milestones that shape the future of every child. Did you know that by age 3, a child's brain is twice as active as an adult's? Or that the number of words a child hears by their 4th birthday can predict their academic success? These early years are not just formative, they're a whirlwind of linguistic exploration and growth. Language is the key that unlocks the world for children, opening doors to expressing thoughts, desires, emotions, and forging connections. But how does this journey begin? From a newborn's first cry to a toddler's tales of adventure, the path of language development is both complex and captivating. In this series, we'll delve into the milestones that mark the first 5 years of life, from the babbling of babies to the rich narratives of preschoolers. We'll uncover the power of environment, the magic of bilingualism, and the impact of technology on language learning. With each chapter, we aim to illuminate the strategies and secrets to nurturing a love of language that lasts a lifetime. But it's not just about the words. Language is a mirror reflecting cognitive growth, emotional development, and the boundless creativity of young minds. It's about the questions they ask, the stories they tell, and the connections they make along the way. Join us on this journey through the first 5 years of language learning, where every word is a step, every sentence a milestone, and every conversation a bridge to understanding the world. Whether you're a parent, caregiver, or educator, these insights and tips will empower you to support the young linguists in your life as they discover the power of language. Prepare to be amazed by the resilience, adaptability, and sheer potential of children as they embark on one of the most important journeys of their lives. Welcome to Language, the first 5 years of life of learning. Chapter 1. Introduction to Language Development. Language is a ticket to the world. It's how we express our thoughts, desires, and emotions. From the very first cry, babies are on a path to mastering the complex system of language. Did you know that by the time a child is 5 years old, they're equipped with the foundation of their lifetime's language skills? That's a journey from babbling to full sentences in just a handful of years. The first 5 years are not just crucial, they're transformative. Language development isn't just about learning words. It's about making connections, understanding concepts, and learning to communicate effectively with others. It's fascinating to see how a child goes from cooing to constructing complex sentences, asking questions, and telling stories. Studies show that the quantity and quality of words a child is exposed to in these early years can significantly impact their language skills. It's why conversations, storytelling, and even singing songs play a pivotal role in their language learning journey. The brain is at its most adaptable in the early years, soaking up language like a sponge. This period is so critical that researchers believe the first 3 years are the most intensive period for acquiring speech and language skills. Interestingly, the development of language also mirrors the emotional and social development of a child. As they learn to communicate, they're also learning to relate to others, express their needs, and navigate the social world. It's a window into their thoughts and a tool for shaping their future learning. The journey of language development is a complex interplay of genetics, environment, and interaction. It's not just about talking to your child, it's about engaging with them, listening, and providing a rich tapestry of words and experiences. Remember, every child is unique, and they develop at their own pace. But one thing's for sure, the impact of these early years lasts a lifetime. Chapter 2. The Power of Babbling. Babbling might sound like just adorable baby chatter, but it's actually a critical milestone in language development. Around 6 months old, babies start to experiment with sounds, producing strings of babbles that include both vowels and consonants, like ba-ba or gaga. This isn't just cute, it's the beginning of verbal communication. Babbling is a baby's way of practicing speech. It's how they start to understand the power of verbal communication, learning that sounds can get them attention and responses from the world around them. This stage is crucial because it lays the groundwork for the development of real words and sentences. Did you know that babies' babbling is influenced by the language they hear? Studies have shown that the sounds babies make can mimic the tones and rhythms of their native language, long before they utter their first words. This suggests that the language learning process begins much earlier than previously thought. Moreover, babbling serves as a practice session for the mouth and tongue, helping babies to control these muscles for speech. It's fascinating to observe how through babbling, babies are experimenting with sound production, pitch, volume, and even the rhythm of language. This experimentation is not random, it's a critical step in mastering the ability to speak. Encouraging babbling is therefore vital. When parents and caregivers respond to babbles as if they were real attempts at communication, it encourages more babbling and, eventually, more advanced language development. Think of it as a conversation with your baby, where their babbles are their contribution. This back-and-forth interaction is not just bonding, it's a crucial language lesson. Babbling marks the beginning of a child's journey to language mastery. It's a stage filled with potential, signaling the start of a lifelong adventure with words and communication. Understanding the importance of this stage helps us support our children in unlocking the world of language, one babble at a time. Chapter 3. First Words and Beyond. The journey from babbling to saying those magical first words is nothing short of miraculous. Imagine the joy when a baby utters "mama" or "dada" for the first time. This milestone typically occurs around the first birthday, but the range of normal development is wide. These first words are more than just sounds, they're the building blocks of language and communication. First words are usually simple and involve names of familiar objects, people, or actions. They are the tools babies use to interact with their world. But how do they decide which words to say first? It's all about relevance and repetition. The more a word is used in a baby's presence, especially in context with emotions or needs, the more likely they are to attempt it. It's a pivotal moment when a child moves from using single words to two-word phrases, usually around the age of 2. This leap is significant, marking the start of the ability to construct sentences and express more complex ideas. For example, "more milk" or "big dog" shows an understanding of not just words, but how to use them together to convey a message. The explosion of vocabulary from this point on is astounding. By the age of 3, a child may have several hundred words in their arsenal, and by age 5, this number can soar to over 2,000 words. This rapid expansion is supported by a natural curiosity and the brain's capacity to learn and form connections. Encouraging this growth involves more than just talking to children, it's about engaging them in meaningful conversations. Ask open-ended questions, offer choices, and describe what you're doing. These interactions are not just about building vocabulary. They're about teaching the nuances of language, including grammar, syntax, and the art of conversation. Chapter 4. The role of environment in language acquisition. The environment plays a crucial role in a child's language development. It's not just about the physical surroundings, but also the social and emotional context in which a child grows. A language-rich environment is filled with books, conversations, stories, and songs. It's an environment where language thrives through engagement, encouragement, and exposure. Children learn language through interaction, not isolation. A home where words are abundant, questions are welcomed, and reading as a daily activity sets the stage for robust language development. It's in these everyday moments, sharing a book, talking about the day, playing games, that language skills blossom. Research highlights the importance of responsive interactions. When caregivers listen and respond to a child's attempts at communication, it reinforces the child's effort and interest in language. It's a dialogue that nurtures both emotional connection and language skills. Diversity in language exposure also matters. Being exposed to a wide range of words, sentence structures, and types of language, such as storytelling versus casual conversation, enriches a child's linguistic repertoire. It's like giving them a more extensive set of tools to express themselves and understand others. However, it's not just about quantity, quality matters too. Engagements that are meaningful and contextually relevant to the child are more effective in promoting language development. For instance, talking about a book's pictures during story time or discussing what you see on a walk can be more impactful than passive exposure to background TV. Creating a supportive language learning environment is about being present, interactive, and intentional in daily activities. It's about turning the mundane into opportunities for discovery and learning. In such an environment, language is not just learned, it is lived. Chapter 5. The Critical Period Hypothesis. The concept of a critical period for language acquisition is a topic of much fascination and debate among linguists and psychologists. This hypothesis suggests there's a specific window in early life when the human brain is especially receptive to language learning. Miss this window, and mastering a language, especially a second language, with native-like fluency becomes much more challenging. But when exactly is this critical period? Research points to the first few years of life as being particularly crucial. During this time, the brain's plasticity allows for the rapid absorption and processing of linguistic information. By age 5, the brain begins to lose some of this plasticity, making language learning more effortful. The evidence for the critical period hypothesis comes from various sources, including studies of children who were exposed to language late due to isolation or deafness and subsequently struggled with language acquisition. Additionally, our research on second language learners has found that those who begin learning a second language in early childhood achieve higher levels of proficiency compared to those who start later in life. However, it's important to note that while early exposure is beneficial, it's not an all-or-nothing scenario. Older learners can still achieve high levels of language proficiency, it might just require more effort and time. The key takeaway is the importance of enriching a child's environment with language experiences early on, to take full advantage of this period of heightened neurological receptivity. Chapter 6. Language and Cognitive Development. Language is not just a means of communication, it's a tool for thinking and understanding the world. The development of language is closely intertwined with cognitive development. As children acquire language, they're also developing the ability to solve problems, remember information, and think critically. Jean Piaget, a renowned Swiss psychologist, posited that children learn through interaction with their environment and that cognitive development precedes language development. In contrast, Soviet psychologist Lev Vygotsky argued that language and thought develop simultaneously and that language is fundamental to cognitive development. Vygotsky's theory highlights the role of social interaction and cultural tools in shaping cognitive functions, emphasizing that language is both a product and a facilitator of cognitive development. Recent research supports the idea that language plays a critical role in cognitive development. For example, vocabulary size in early childhood has been linked to reading comprehension and school success later on. Language allows children to categorize objects, remember information, and understand abstract concepts. It also enables them to regulate their behavior and emotions, plan ahead, and solve problems by talking through their thoughts. The connection between language and cognition underscores the importance of language-rich environments. Conversations, storytelling, and reading activities not only build language skills but also enhance cognitive abilities. Engaging children in discussions, encouraging them to ask questions, and exposing them to a variety of linguistic inputs support their cognitive development and prepare them for lifelong learning. Chapter 7. Overcoming language delays. Language delays in early childhood, when a child's language skills lag behind those of peers, can be a concern for parents and educators. It's important to distinguish between a delay, which might be caught up with intervention and time, and a disorder, which indicates more significant challenges requiring specialized support. Early intervention is critical in addressing language delays. It can range from speech therapy and language-rich activities at home to educational programs designed to boost language skills. These interventions work best when tailored to the child's specific needs and when they involve regular, engaging interactions that encourage communication. Parents play a crucial role in supporting their child's language development. Simple strategies such as expanding on their child's utterances, modeling correct pronunciation and grammar, and providing a rich variety of linguistic stimuli can make a significant difference. Reading together, talking about daily activities, and encouraging storytelling or role play are excellent ways to stimulate language growth. In some cases, technology can be a valuable tool. Educational apps and programs designed to enhance language skills can complement traditional methods, offering interactive and fun ways to learn. However, screen time should be balanced with real-life interactions, which are irreplaceable for developing communication and social skills. It's also essential to foster a supportive and patient environment, celebrating progress and understanding that each child's developmental timeline is unique. Encouragement and positivity can boost a child's confidence, motivating them to engage more with language and communication.